Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Welcome to our Youth for Nature Spotlight series, an Africa-focused project that hopes to highlight the amazing works young people are doing in the region and to share these inspiring stories on our social platforms and also with the world. The Youth Spotlight series is a project that seeks to offer a platform for youth in the global south to share their stories of them as activists, stories of their initiatives or projects, their journeys in community leadership, and actually having these unique stories profiled and amplified on Youth for Nature's social platforms, as well as linking the youth action networks to networks rather that can support their cause. And today we will hear and learn more about the linkages of financial literacy and how that connects to restoration work for young people, for women, and for grassroots communities in Africa and specifically Uganda. I am honored to introduce our guest for today, Miss Mwajuma Munduru. Welcome, Mwajuma.
Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you and to host you. Mwajuma, would you tell us more about yourself, and where you're really joining us from today?
Well, yes. My name is Munduru Mwajuma. I am from Uganda. Yes, and right now I'm in Kampala, Uganda. So the current situation right now in our country is lockdown. So basically, we're working from home. Yes. Yes. That's just
Thank you
it.
so much. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mwajuma. And I think it's pretty much the same thing in Kenya, like lockdowns and curfews and lots of confusions. But we're grateful that we have the moment to have you on and really talk to the global youth communities on some of the amazing works you've been doing and how we can connect these to or learn from them to implement projects or initiatives in one way or the other. And so really it's a pleasure to have you on again. You work with Family Uplift Uganda. Do you mind telling us more about this initiative and probably the main objective behind you founding it?
Yes, thank you so much. The organization I work for is Family Uplift Uganda, and Family Uplift Uganda, we are into rural communities, and we are based in Jinja, the rural Jinja, into poverty alleviation. And our vision is a generation that is free from poverty. That is our vision. Yes, we believe that in 3 to 5 years from now, many lives will be transformed, economically. So through our programs, we believe that youths will be empowered economically and women will be empowered economically. And we hope that livelihoods, sustainable livelihoods will be built. Yeah. So basically, that's just it. And we have 2 programs that are already running. And one is we are into agribusiness. We have a group of women that are planting vegetables. We are doing vegetable farming. It's a project that we started in the first lockdown, which was last year around April. Yes, that's when we started that project with the rural women, and it has really impacted their lives. They plant these vegetables that these vegetables are harvested in 3 months. After 3 months, they are harvested. So they do sell part of the vegetables, and some are used for home consumption. So in a way, the project has provided food for households, and 2, it has provided an income, for the poor households, in the rural Jinja. And the second program is a financial education program, which simply gives skills and knowledge, to youth and women regarding how to, make money, how to manage it, how to build sustainable wealth. So simply, that's just it. And opening up opportunities, financial opportunities to the youth and women, for the goal of empowering them economically. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. That is so inspiring. And really, I think I'm really keen on the fact that financial literacy is not something that, most young people really want to take on or even, like explore and really understand how that links to, community development and helping families and young people themselves to scale up and be able to empower themselves. So, and I like the fact that you also mentioned about the two projects that, you're working on, an agribusiness and also what do you want? Sorry, I'll repeat the question. Yeah, the question was,
yes.
what inspired you to, start this initiative?
Yes, the financial literacy project, right? Or Family Uplift Uganda?
Yes.
Sorry, I need to be clear about this. Are you saying the financial literacy?
No, what inspired you to start Family Uplift Uganda? Sorry.
Okay, thank you so much. I do. Uganda is, of course, an African country like any other, and the poverty rate is really high here. And I've mentioned that we are in Jinja, which is Eastern Uganda. Eastern Uganda is the region that has the highest rate of poor households in our country. Being the founder of Family Uplift Uganda, I believe in sorry, I believe in human capital empowerment. Yeah. And when you look at a life, when we go back to the basics, when you look at a life that really is not empowered economically, as a nation, that is a very, very huge red light, to, its development. Yeah. Because I believe that the development of a nation really stems down from, the people in the communities. And just like our name is Family Uplift Uganda, we believe that the family is the smallest unit of a nation, and everything stems from there. If Uganda is to grow economically, if Uganda is to develop, it has to start, from the grassroots, from the citizens, from the people, the families, the communities. Yeah. So looking at economic empowerment, in one's life or in the operation of a family, it's very key. It's very key. Yeah. And also to the development, of the nation. People have to be economically empowered, for any development to happen. Yeah. So that's why I was like, I have to do economic empowerment and start from the grassroots.
Exactly. And I like it when you say, people have to be economically empowered, for us to attain,
yes.
Development. And in this case, I think sustainable development. Thank you so much, Mwajuma.
Exactly.
And welcome to every guest who is joining us today. We are on our July Youth for Nature Spotlight series with our special guest, Munduru Mwajuma, who is the founder and working at Family Uplift Uganda, an amazing youth rural Uganda to give them skills on financial literacy, but also working on some projects that can help them get an income while also, providing food and, like dietary needs for the communities. And Mwajuma, it's a question, the next question sort of like linked to the one I asked before. I'm wondering, yourself as a young person, like why financial literacy to you? Why financial literacy?
Thank you so much. As a person, I have a story behind that. I studied finance and banking, so that's my specialty. I have a degree in that, and this is a story that I tell the people that I speak to, and every platform that I speak to. I studied finance and banking and got well versed with finance and banking. But after graduating and coming out to the marketplace, I realized that things really work different out here. And personally, I'm a person who really loves. I love a good life. I would love to give my best to the people that I love and things like that. So that that pushes me to finding ways of building wealth, sustainable wealth, for myself and the people that I love. So starting the journey of being in the marketplace, I realized I was financially illiterate. Okay, I had a degree in finance and banking, but I was financially illiterate. What does that mean? Yeah, that means that I graduated in finance and banking, but I didn't have the practical skills, the practical life skills of money. Money itself is a very beautiful tool. It's a great tool that we use in life, to build beautiful lives. Yeah, but it goes down to understanding money. Okay. When it comes to financial literacy, the things that we learn in financial literacy, you learn financial management, how you can handle this money. Okay. How you can handle that money. And it goes deep down to understanding investment, how do I invest? How do I know that this is a good investment, for me to inject in my money, and you get to learn many things. If I inject this much in this period of time, how much money will I get, in return and things like that. There is a lot in financial literacy, and it is a life skill that people outside there really don't have. And I don't know, I think people haven't yet perceived or understood financial literacy very well, and what it can really, really do, in their lives. It is a life skill that people need. Without it, we all go back into the circles of poverty. Now, this links us back to poverty, okay? If you don't know how to manage your money, you don't know how to save strategically, not just saving, putting money in the bank account, but saving strategically. If you don't know all those things, if you don't know the right investments, to put your money in and all that, then building wealth is something that you would easily fail at, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I think as we move on, I'd want to probably again ask you. Sorry, I was a bit disturbed. But I'd want to quickly move on to linking these two projects that you've talked about. The agribusiness and financial education, right? And you've been experimenting and working with your groups in Uganda, and basically, there's something that you've learned. So I think the question is what kinds of associated impacts are you seeing on these families, on youth and the women themselves, and also how they relate with the farms that they work with to get the money that they get to support their communities? What is the impact that you've seen out of these two projects with the communities and the youth themselves?
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Paul. The impact, this we link financial literacy to everything that we do. Even with the agribusiness, that the rural women are doing. After planting their things, they're harvesting and selling. We have financial literacy training for them. We do train them on how to handle the money that they get, from the sales that they make. we teach them on how to budget, on how to save and how to reinvest. Okay. So it is a practical, skill that really supports the ongoing or the sustainability of the agribusiness itself. I'll give you an example. People do earn money. Okay. People have businesses, people have jobs, people earn money. But at the end of the day, if they do not budget their finances well, if they do not save, strategically save, if they do not invest, they end up consuming all they have and then go back again to work harder to, get their salaries or their profits, and, so they kind of go back into those circles, if they lack the financial management kind of disciplines. Yeah. So the impact we've seen is, especially with the women have saved. Actually, they have, we've registered the cooperative already for those rural women who are doing vegetable farming. So when they harvest their produce, they sell, they get that money and then bring it to the cooperative. Okay. So there is accountability, there is budgeting, there is saving, and there is reinvestment. So this is a sustainable approach for them. And we believe that in a few years from now, they'll grow. Okay. And that will really impact their lives and the lives of the children, Yeah. And then also for the youth, for the youth, we have really tremendous impact. Especially when it comes to financial disciplines. We've had testimonies of youth that would really get money. They would earn money, but they would find themselves in the vicious cycle of poverty, lacking. So right now, many have built financial disciplines that are really helping them to strategically save, invest, and build sustainable wealth for themselves, and their loved ones. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Let me just say that this is interesting and exciting, and at the same time, showing us, the possibilities that, working with communities, with youth and women can actually open doors, to economic empowerment, and I think sort of revolutionizing how we deal with nature and how we can, sustainably fend for ourselves while also taking care of the environment and really being aware about where we are spending the monies and where we are investing it. So I think this is a really important lesson from you, Mwajuma, today. And I wish to welcome everyone joining us today. Please feel free to drop your questions, insights, or comments on the comment section, and we'll be happy to read them or ask them to our guest, Mwajuma, today. And again, sorry, I think I was muted, but I'll get back to it. Sorry. So just connecting now out of the background you've given us and how you're working with communities in rural Uganda, especially youth and women. How do you think we can link youth and women restoration and financing efforts from any part of the world?
Sorry, I'm going to ask you to repeat the question again for me. Sorry.
Yes, no worries. Exactly. How do you think we can, link youth and women efforts in terms of financing and restoration work? How do we link the environment to, financial literacy and financing on projects on the ground?
I think you're asking for the link, between nature and financing. Like I said, what we are doing, the agribusiness, the agribusiness, it is practically nature, many people, out of experience and out of research have, despite us having good soils, despite us having, a good nature that, good natural resources that can really actually feed our lives and help us build, wealth. You find that sorry. It just skipped, my point just skipped my mind. But despite us, having, different natural resources that God has endowed us with, to support our, our livelihoods, many people are not really involving themselves, especially like in agriculture. That's why we are setting up these, these projects of, agribusiness, and in a way, we see that for people to be economically empowered, nature has already provided, but people don't see this. Okay, nature has already provided, the good soils, the fertile soils that we have, and nature is ready to help us build sustainable wealth for ourselves and our loved ones if we handle it well. For example, if it's a garden, give it good fertilizers, build trees and things like that. Just I don't know the right word to say, or I don't know how to put it, but let's be good to nature. Let's just be good to nature. Let's be good to nature. Let's be friendly to nature. Let's respond positively to nature, for nature to also positively respond to us. And through that, we will, we will build our lives, economically. Yeah.
Wow. I keep learning so much from you. And I think now from this, what I'm getting again from Mwajuma is, let us respond positively to nature so that nature can respond positively to us, right? And the sort of examples that you're actually linking on, and restoration work to financial literacy and engagement, that even thinking about how when we are creating these community gardens, right? Like, how do we ensure like we are giving these gardens the right fertilizers? How do we maybe engage the agribusiness aspects in terms of agroforestry, or trying to protect the trees within these gardens to also help provide some ecosystem services to communities, to nature itself, and also for future generations? And I find that as a very key component that maybe is missing in some projects. And through your engagement, at Family Uplift Uganda, you're actually creating that impact and the exposure, for women and youth to actually see that opportunity in protecting nature to better, generate extra income, and then be able to set up the standard for other people. So thank you so much for this, Mwajuma. I believe everyone else is learning as much as I'm learning today. And I want us to switch the gear a bit with you, Mwajuma, and sort of like also discuss. Yes, these people, we empower the women, right? We empower the youth, and we create these really amazing projects and programs for them to engage and really benefit from them. Yeah. So I think the question then comes to, then how do you ensure that they maintain that discipline while engaging these on the ground projects, and also the discipline in terms of, yes, they've maybe started doing their farm work, but how do they maintain their accountability to themselves? How do they get motivated to continue, working together up until the point they sell the produce and everything? So like, what are some of the ethics that you feel these people are learning through engaging with Family Uplift Uganda?
Yes, thank you so much, Paul, for that. Our approach to causing impact in the community is it's all linked to sustainability. Like for everything that we do, we all link everything that we do, all the programs, all the goals, to how sustainable can we have this. Yeah. And of course, the first element that you have to look onto is, the people themselves, okay? Because these are the people that drive, the program. These are the people that, do everything. So, of course, what we do at first, we show them, where they are going, okay? And we show them that their lives will be transformed, okay? Because you have to give them a reason as to why they are here. You have to give them a reason as to why they are, doing vegetable farming, okay? At the end of the day, they will get finances and they'll get school fees for their children. Their children will attain, an education. So I think that is also, that is one of the motivating factors that keep them there. And also, too, we set up systems, okay, that that help on pushing onto this sustainability goal. Like I gave you an example, the rural the women that are involved into the agribusiness, in rural Ginger, have a cooperative already that we've already registered, we've set up. So immediately after them selling their produce, they get their money and they bring it direct to their system. And this is their system, it is something they own. Okay. So, yeah. So that is also an element, you make them feel like this is your thing. Okay. This is your thing, handle it. All you do is just build leadership amongst them, for accountability. So when they get their money, they bring it in the cooperative. Those that want to borrow can borrow, at a little interest, but all the money is into their circle. So it is their thing. And so they feel like this is our thing. And the system helps them, handle money very wise and also help them grow, yeah. So that really pushes us to sustainability. Yeah.
Exactly. And, what you're saying, making them own the process and see it
exactly.
is, it belongs to them. And, through active working through it, they are the very people who are going to benefit in the end. And, it brings us to now the audience questions. And also thank you so much, Mwajuma, for, this bite of enlightening, answering of our questions today. And also thank you so much to the participants and the audience that is joining us from wherever you're joining us in the world and the amazing questions we are getting. So before time ends, I'd say we are a bit short of time, but I want to pose these questions to you, Mwajuma, and maybe respond. Okay. Someone is asking, if you can share an example of a success story from your work. I think you might have mentioned, but if you don't mind just quickly mentioning an example of a success story from your work, rather.
Okay. Thank you so much. I have I have quite a number of success stories, but I'll give one success story that really moved me. It's the success story that we got from the first participants that attended our financial education program. These were youth leaders that our first financial education program hosted youth leaders of one of the impact that we gave that really moved me was from a lady. She's, I think she's in her late 20s, and she works. She does earn an income. She's doing well, but doing well, in a sense of, she gets the money, she can pay for, her utilities and, all that, take care of herself. But she didn't know how to handle money, for purposes of building wealth, thinking about the future and things like that. So when she attended our financial education program, she got enlightened about financial management. And she said she was really, really very poor at saving. And in this class of in this program, we do teach them on how to save, because some people think saving is just getting money and putting it in an account. No, we teach them on different percentages. We teach them of a percentage that is for building wealth. That's the percentage you put in a specific account. A portion of money that you put for your expenses and all that. So she started, practicing all that. And after 2 months, she told us that through her savings, she has started up a business. So she started up a small business. She was selling shoes, and she was like, I've opened up a business. And with the disciplines that I've learned, if I continue, saving, I'm going to grow my business. And from this little business, I know I will, reinvest and, grow it. So as we speak right now, she's really doing better. And just that little thing, that small thing, that small impact,
yes,
is just enough for me, to know that someone's life is impacted economically. Yeah.
Exactly. And for me, I feel like that we are sort of like tight for time, but I really want you to answer this last one, Mwajuma, in less than a minute.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So what do you hope, is the future for nature and climate? What do you hope, the future for climate and nature for Uganda and youth looks like from your perspective?
From my perspective, I think we still have a lot of work to do. I can't say that, this is how the future is going to be. But the future is determined by now, what are we doing? Yeah. So for me, what I can just say about nature and climate change is for us to take action, plant trees, reduce on waste, Yeah. Like I said earlier on, let's be positive to nature. Let's go into agriculture, Let's be positive to nature. And the future is bright for nature if what we do right now, is friendly to nature.
Exactly. And I really don't want to add anything to that. That will be my homework today and my take away from these sessions. And then lastly, I don't want to really be a bit of a bad host. Mwajuma, I want you to maybe talk to the world and tell them how they can connect with you and where we can find Family Uplift Uganda on social media platforms. And also in less than a minute, give your very, very last word.
Okay, thank you so very much. Family Uplift Uganda is on all social media handles. Okay, almost all. We are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and just go there and put Family Uplift Uganda. You'll find us there, and that's just simply that. You'll find our contacts and many other details there. Come see what we do, and the word that I can give out there, to humanity is let's plant good seeds. Let's plant good seeds. Whether in everything that we are doing, whether it is nature, plant a tree. If it is economic development, find a job, have good financial disciplines, build sustainable wealth. We don't want anyone to be poor, okay? You don't want your children to go to poor schools. You don't want your children to suffer, okay? And you don't want your generations to come to go through hardship because of you, okay? So you are the change factor, okay? So the seed you plant today will be that will impact, the generations to come. Thank you so much for having me.
Wow, thank you. Let us plant the good seed. Let us plant the good seed. What a great way to end this session. Thank you so much, Mwajuma, for the amazing session today and for your presence with our interview. It's been such a pleasure for me to actually, and for other people, I believe, to learn about financial literacy, how that, connects to community work and also how that connects to nature and restoration action. It's been so much insightful to hear from you and to really have you us understand these questions, Mwajuma, can only better days for you and your initiative and better engagement for us to continue learning from you and for you to also maybe learn from what other young people are doing. And please remember to follow Mwajuma, Family Uplift Uganda on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And also really to encourage everyone joining us today that let's continue doing the great work we are doing on the ground. And special thanks for all that were able to join us today. Now, please stay tuned for more of these. We plan to continue hosting this monthly Spotlight series. And if you want to share some of your amazing stories with that, please remember to write to us at hello@youthfornature.org or write to me directly at kaluki@youthfornature.org, and we'll be more than happy to see how we can bring you on board. But until then, please take care of yourself. Remember to hold someone's hand and lend some of your knowledge to them, and also learn from each other for climate and for the biodiversity movement. For indeed, we are stronger in our numbers and we are stronger together. Thank you so much. And it's a bye-bye for now.